Hello everyone, welcome back to your fourth semester. Obviously not starting the semester in ideal settings with the snow, but we'll try to do the best that we can. Just wanted to post this video to quickly go over the schedule, syllabus, and journal project for this class. So we'll quickly go over the syllabus first. So Ther Ex II will be covering essentially the upper extremity as opposed to the lower extremity. So we'll be starting with the cervical spine, working our way down to the shoulder, then the elbow, and then the wrist and hand. Other topics we'll be covering in this class include PNF of the upper extremity, as well as cardiac rehab and TMJ. All right, so required text, same text that we had from last semester, Ther Ex and your fundamentals book. Also note that for cardiac rehab, we will be using the Sullivan and Schmidt book, the big red textbook. All right, so really quickly, just wanted to go over the breakdown in percentage points for the major components of the class. So we have tests and quizzes at 15%, midterm exam at 22%, lab skills at 22%, or your practicals at 22%, outside assignments at 10%, PPS points at 8%, and final exam at 23%. Outside assignments this semester includes your quizzes, your homework assignments, and your journal article assignments. So we won't have discussion boards or the YouTube video assignments this semester. All right, please look through the full syllabus and go over the course objectives as well. All right, so that was the syllabus. Next, we'll be going over the schedule. All right, so Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 5 is when you'll have Ther Ex II. Lecture is from 1 to 2:55. Lab is from 2:55 roughly to 4:55. And again on Mondays and Wednesdays. Just looking through, obviously, comp for cardiac rehab and aerobic conditioning was initially scheduled for this Wednesday. If we end up having class tomorrow, Tuesday, February 12th, we potentially may still do the comp on Wednesday, but if we don't have class tomorrow, then we will likely switch your cervical spine lecture and lab and do that this Wednesday, and then likely do the comp the following Monday. But to be determined at this time. All right, just looking through the schedule here, please note that first homework assignment is assigned next Monday and will be due on the 20th, which is that Wednesday, so quick turnaround. So this semester we'll have the homework assignments will generally be not as lengthy, so one case and some cases 2 cases, but there will be more of them, so not as lengthy but more homework assignments, and they'll be due relatively quickly after the last one. So this first homework assignment, like I said, is due, goes out this coming Monday and is due the Wednesday, the 20th. And then on Wednesday, we have another one that's assigned and due on the 25th, which is due which is that midnight the following Monday, right here. And so please stay on top of the homeworks as best as you can. All right, also please note in the schedule that we have our journal article assignments kind of dispersed throughout the semester. So your clinical question is actually due a week from today, or next Monday on the 18th at midnight. I will be posting the topics that each student is assigned to later today, so you can go ahead and get started on that. It'll be very similar to it'll essentially be the same assignment as we had last semester, but I will go over that in more detail in a second. All right, so scrolling through the schedule, please note midterm exam is on March 4th, and then the upper extremity stretching and strengthening comp is on March 6th. All right, journal article presentations will start on March 11th, which is this Monday here. All right, and we'll go over who is assigned to present on which day as we get closer to that date. All right, and then finally, the final lab practical is on April 1st, and the final exam is on April 3rd to get you ready to go back out to clinicals, which I believe start the following Monday on April 8th. All right, so that's the schedule. I want to spend a little bit of time going over the grading, some of the grading procedures here. So students will not be allowed to complete quizzes after the due date, and the lowest quiz grade will be dropped, so just like last semester. A little bit different than last semester. One OOPS pass will be given to cover all homework assignments and journal article assignments. Homework and journal article assignments will not be accepted 48 hours after the due date, and that's even with using an OOPS pass. So just because you use the OOPS pass, if you want credit for the assignment, you still need to turn it in within 48 hours of the due date. Also, it's your responsibility as a student to let me know if you are using your OOPS pass or if you want to use your OOPS pass for a specific assignment. Otherwise, I will assume that your OOPS pass is not being used. All right. And obviously, if you have any questions over the syllabus or schedule, feel free to email me, or we can discuss it on our first actual day of class. All right, so finally, I just wanted to quickly go over the journal article assignment. So very similar to the assignment from last semester. So you can see the due dates here, topic and clinical question approval by the 21st of February, but I need the original submission by the 18th with the times listed there. Then your CAT is going to be due on the 28th, and then the patient flyer March 7th, and then as I stated previously, we'll start presentations on March 11th. All right. Here's just some tips for developing your clinical question. All right. Just like last semester, the clinical question essentially you need to submit one primary article on February 18th, and that must be published within the past 5 years. Your primary article cannot be a systematic review. Also, when you do your presentation, you'll be required to use 2 supporting articles, but these don't have to be primary articles, so they don't. So they can be systematic reviews, but they must be peer-reviewed. All right, so it can't be just an article off the internet or something like that. All right. And obviously, if you have any questions regarding the journal article or primary article submission and clinical question submission, please feel free to email me, or we can discuss it on our first actual day of class. We'll be going over the patient information flyer and presentation a little later in the semester. So I'll have specific handouts for those topics. And I also have hard copies of all of these when you come for your first actual day of class. All right.